Hi, this is Lisa from Question the Narrative here on this Halloween evening with Honey Golden. Honey, how are you today?
Doing good. Everything's good.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm still here in Portugal, so sorry for the darkness on the thing, but I'm here in Lisbon now, and it's very interesting to see these cities. And Honey and I were just talking a little bit about them, how they were so different that we might talk about them on a different video. But it's a really beautiful feeling here, and the architecture is very different. And it's not the Tartarian, so we'll talk about this at another time. But tonight
Oh,
or today, for what everybody else is, I really wanted to talk a little bit about not about what's happening in the financial systems, what's happening and all of that, because I think we've been talking about that and we will continue to have a dialogue. But today, I wanted to observe that in my feed, over and over again, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, all of the Telegram, all the platforms, all I get is we're ready for the EBS. The things are shifting now. Are you ready? The Galactic Federation videos about here's why we're doing this. Here's what we're happening now. This is why, this is what we're talking about. You are now the ones that are being seated. And I just wanted to have a conversation with you, honey. Are you getting that sense too? Like, what can we do right now to do this? First question I would love to ask you is is that because it's really happening, or is it because they need us to help make it happen? Oh, I can't hear you.
both. Oh, you can't hear
Okay,
me?
now I can. Yeah. It could be my
Okay, good.
internet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's both. So, I just watched an NPC video and it was extremely detailed. And I think we should talk about that a little bit. And
Okay.
a lot of the government is NPC, right? You've got key players there, and they're really doing their best to shift everything, but they need help. They need help from the consciousness. So they are laying out all the groundwork, and they've tried to do this multiple times, and the consciousness wouldn't support it. But now we're at a point where the consciousness does. Humanity wants change. I think this government shutdown in America
Hmm.
has really pushed for change, and people believe that it's needed, even if they're not totally awake.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
there are still people that are still slumbering and maybe only halfway, but they're still not totally engaged. And everybody has a different kind of timeline that they're in, and there's groups that are in different big timelines together. And the more awake you are, usually the higher the timeline, unless you're being extremely negative.
Yeah, you can feel
So,
those things. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I think that it's both, and a lot of it is up to us, and it's time for us to be sovereign and to actually use our power to push it forward.
Yeah. And this is what is really interesting because I agree with you. I feel that it is both too. First of all, it is happening. And what a lot of people say when they hear this is, oh, you've said it before. Oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, it's not going to happen. And what they need right now and what we need to do is to be the person that says, yes, that's happening. I'm experiencing it. So part of the discussion, I think it would be really for us to have is to then come out and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to try on that it is happening right now, that the EBS is happening, that the financial system has shifted, that all of these things are happening, and realize that I know that every day, everything I do and everything I experience, I am choosing to experience it that way. And I think that's really important right now because I feel like it's a cry for help from the those of us who are awake to support the consciousness and to add the ripples in there. How do you see that, honey?
Yeah, I think people get stuck in loops and they have trauma, and that contributes to more looping if they don't heal it. And some of that trauma is about money. Some of that trauma is thinking that other people are in control when actually, as a being, you create everything that you see. And it's time to take personal responsibility for what we're creating right now.
Mm.
And do you want to contribute to the collective and say, yes, I'm
Yeah,
ready for that? I'm going to allow that to happen. And the ones that are doing that, they're very powerful and they've done a lot of healing and they're really pushing it right now. There are some that are really holding things back in certain ways, and they will end up in the slower timelines that, they won't have the same experience. It won't be as beautiful because they've chosen that. And all of it comes down to doing our inner work, which some people have avoided. Some people have not even wanted to try. Like, I don't know. I mean, when you get into it, like at the base, at the very foundation, it's all about us as an individual, if we're willing to work through our stuff or not.
yeah. And right now, I feel that this is a clarion call for those of us who have done a lot of the work, who are saying that we see this to help really push it through. So, I mean, if it's a constant thing in your feed, I believe that's the pattern that says, yes, this is transitioning now. We are transitioning now. This is how it feels to be in the fifth dimension. This is what it feels. This is how your body is transitioning. This is all of the things that are happening for us to do that. And the more you believe it, and living in abundance. And that means living in a different way, living, and just trying that on and experiencing it that way. So I feel it's really important to do that. So I also feel too that listening to all of those positive things, constantly reinforced, saying over and over again, you're like, yeah, yeah. And that's my job right now. I feel like that's my job. How do you feel? What do you feel your job is right now, honey?
I think it is to be positive, to let people know that they can do it, and to really talk about what this really is.
Hmm.
Like we're in a construct, we're in a game, and it's a learning game, and it's organic, and we're in the process of getting rid of all the distortion that was like an overlay.
Yeah.
And if you think you can avoid your trauma that you've experienced, that's part of the 3D. That trauma is part of the 3D, so it's right on the surface right now.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that's been coming up. There's so many things that are popping into that there's like just like, okay, let that one go now. Let that go. All the frustrations. And like right now I'm traveling, so canceled flights, frustrations in airports, early mornings, late nights, and you're like, okay, that's a lot. And you're like, and you have to say, okay, I'm frustrated with it, I'm tired. But I have to just say, okay, those are the different things and realize this is a game. I've chosen to play this game. And it's interesting and it's fun, but also stand up for different things. I was listening to Lee Harris's energy update for November, and it's right now, it's a period of time that we are in a crystal chrysalis, that we are moving faster and faster through the experiences. You think it, you create it. You're doing that very quickly. And then to stop and say that, there's the loop I have. there's the loop I have that I am creating this and then being stressful about it, that we're not thinking it through. So to me, this is a very interesting time. And today, and it's funny when we got on, you reminded me it's Halloween. So here in Europe, even though there's a couple things already decorated in Halloween, it's not a big thing. So you're saying that the veil is very thin. So what could we
Yeah.
expect for tonight then this thin veil? What's happening for us?
Well, I think we're going to get more of an impact from what's coming from Atlas, and not because the ship just went around the sun, but because that narrative is also pushing the energy. So a lot of us are getting more and more code that's coming into us that is basically the divine code, the original code of humanity. And we've not had the original code for a long time. We started out, most of us, with two strands of DNA through this process. And now we have all 12. And all of DNA is information, it's organic information. And we're getting more information coming in because everything's made with light and it's coded with sound. So sound creates the form that the light is. And I think that as we get to know that better and better, we will realize, look at everything we've created. Like, it's mind-boggling.
Hmm.
And the biggest thing is to kind of disengage the mind and engage with the magic
Yeah, that's
because
right. Yeah.
yeah,
D-
because
the,
we're magical.
Disengaging the mind is really interesting. And that's why, in a lot of ways, when we look at movies and videos and stories, they just open the mind up for so many things. When you think about the fantasy things, like all the different things, we've talked a lot about Star Trek, those are science fiction, but there are other things. There's like the show The Wheel of Time about how they play
Yeah,
with time and what the ability of these women who were the magical women who were on the planet, how what they were doing to open up in the creation of that. Why not? Why can't we do that? It's all possible. It's very, very interesting that we've been put into this box and it's really hard to get out of. And the biggest box has been that financial box because we think we can't do anything. So you were saying just before we hopped on here that actually the biggest sort of impetus right now for a transition in our consciousness is the shutdown of the US government. We want to talk a little bit about what you think that's doing for us and how that might be helping us shift.
well, I think people are realizing that we don't need it for one thing. We don't need the
Oopsie.
government,
You mean we
right?
don't need the
Yeah,
IRS? No. No.
right. So we're surviving fine without it, but they're starting to bring in the financial drama. So the SNAP benefits, or what when I was a kid, they called it food stamps.
Hmm.
Um, that's not supposedly going to happen tomorrow.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that drama is being brought up to the United States and the millions of people that will not have that. So they're showing that the government doesn't work. They're showing people that the government is holding on to money that is needed. And we've got a sovereign wealth fund. We have everything's in place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So allowing for things to happen is really important. And if you can't feel it and embody it in your body right now, if you're going through trauma release or stress, then I would say disengage from it completely
Hmm.
and just work on yourself
Yeah.
and let people who are really like ready to put that energy out
Yeah.
because money's energy. It's just energy,
Yeah. Whatever form the
So,
money is going to be in, whether it's gold or silver or
yeah,
crypto or whatever it is, yeah, whether it's a paper or not, it is energy, right? And it's how we think
right.
of it, how we think of it. So that's really important. So the SNAP benefits, but so it's you're right, it's coming down to it's now hitting in the place where people are saying, which is really bad. So instead of maybe this massive financial system collapse, the US government not paying people might be a sort of a big kind of event to crystallize and for have people be galvanized to say, you know what? No more. I don't need this. I'm creating my own now. Do you think
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're going through?
Yeah. I think we're finding out that we need to be more sovereign in who we are and give less power to all of this stuff. Like a lot of people, they give power to how much money they have at the
Yeah.
moment.
Mhm.
They give power
Hold on a
to,
second. Hold on,
oh,
someone's trying to come in.
okay.
Hold on. No, sorry, no, I'm on a call. No, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you, but yeah. Hotels are challenging. They didn't, they just walk in. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. No, no, they knock on the door and when I'm on a video, I can't really say anything. Sorry. But I got chocolate, so that's
Okay.
good, right? So good.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
We want to cut this and go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, I'll just continue. So, basically, just really think about where you're at right now.
Hmm.
Where are you at? What is the best thing that you can do for yourself right now? And do that. And everything is working out for us, but we're being pushed right now. We're being pushed to let go of the 3D, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a painful push for a lot of people. My husband said yesterday, I'm really grateful that we live in the middle of nowhere
Hmm.
because he saw a lot of not so nice things when he was in the city
Hmm.
yesterday, and he was really grateful to be home.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, I'm so glad that we are not addicted to anything, that we're not doing any of these negative things, because that's part of the 3D that's still alive because we believe it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he was seeing a lot of people that were suffering because he picked somebody up at the bus station and took them somewhere else because it's like an old friend who needed help. So those kind of things can really like drop your frequency
Hmm. Hmm.
when you're engaging with someone who's chosen to have a fairly negative experience.
Hmm. Yeah.
So just extract your energy. That was my message this morning to people was like, take all your energy back, put it back in your body and take care of yourself today.
Yeah. And I think that's
Yeah.
really important, especially because over the past like 50, 75 years, we have been shifted from sort of quiet life and smaller towns to cities. And it's not just from an agricultural background to an urban background where we work for others, which is clearly giving away sovereignty to always be working for a company that controls everything about us. But you now are in places where you are with enormous numbers of people in small places, and you are interacting with humanity, NPCs, and a lot of negative energies and frequencies that you're being bombarded with, such as loud noises, music, like walking down a street in Europe right now. There's so much construction, that heavy construction sounds that you have. And then everywhere you
Mhm.
go in Europe, you are exposed to enormous amount of music at a very dissonant vibrational frequency, which I think, so I'll ask you this. Is Europe using using music in their public spaces as a way to control the population?
Depress them
Hmm.
is what it feels like. Yeah. And Europe is like rebelling right now. So
Hmm.
the United States is in disgust. They're disgusted with the government and they're not protesting anything. They're just watching. But Europe is in
Hmm.
turmoil. Yeah.
Europe is really, really in turmoil. There's protesting. When I left Florence on Tuesday, or actually Wednesday morning, there was another protest against Gaza. So you had to leave super early in the morning to get to an airport so I can get out of the city. They were going to
Mhm.
do another strike for the day. We now have all over every city in Italy has been going through protesting. There's protesting everywhere that you go. The Dutch have protested. They don't have farmers anymore. But when is Europe going to step up? Because they
I feel like
protest
they're,
and their energy's not right there. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's not right. I feel like they're trying to do it all at once. Like the White Hats are trying to get it to happen all at once. Um,
Hmm.
will it happen all at once? I don't know. I think that's still to be determined,
Hmm.
but it will be very shortly after. I mean, as soon as the US goes and shifts, it's gonna tumble quick.
Hmm.
Europe will tumble quick. So I don't know. I saw also, what's his name? Prince Andrew,
Hmm. Formerly,
and how he was,
the former Prince
yeah,
Andrew.
right, giving up all of his titles and stuff. And to me, that means the Epstein stuff is about ready to come out too.
That's interesting.
So
Yeah.
we've just got so many things that are like peaking right now.
Is that
And
also,
we keep thinking, go
oh,
ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry. Is that also something, can we as a consciousness get it so we are getting the Epstein files and the information out there sooner?
Yeah, you can say, well, I expect it and it's out now.
Yeah.
If you want something to happen, there was like something in The Secret where this little boy would experience his red bicycle every day. And he would basically call it in. He would experience it in his body.
Hmm.
And a month later, he got his red bicycle. It showed up. So just experience it, be grateful for it, be appreciative. I'm so grateful to be alive on this planet right now because it's such a pivotal
Hmm.
time and we're getting ready to rebuild it in a different way.
Yeah.
So why not be excited about that?
It is very interesting. So we've got a bunch of things, and I said I wouldn't really talk about new stuff, but I did want to ask one question, if I may, and
Sure.
you can say maybe not. It's about why did we get this announcement saying that Trump is going to be testing nuclear weapons?
Oh, I think, and there aren't any anymore, so
Right, right.
everybody
That's
should know
why, like
that.
all of
Yeah,
these things are, it's always like, you always, once again, you have to observe it from the thing. It's like, well, why are they saying that narrative? What is it that we need to
yeah.
know?
I think that's the Three Eye Atlas. There's a spaceship coming thing. So he's talked about an invisible plane that's been flying around for 5 years.
Yep.
And then he just talked about testing the nuclear facilities to make sure they're still working or whatever. And I'm like, oh, you want to see if it's like, it's basically they're getting ready to see if it's a negative ET or a positive ET
Mm.
because they think they're coming. And I think that's what the seeds are that they're planting.
Hmm.
And will we use anything? Will there be any bombs? I don't get there will be.
Hmm. But they're thinking that they need to protect us, or are they thinking that they want to show us that, oh, we're protecting you, so you'll be okay? Is that which narrative are we going with here?
I think they're showing that something's coming and they want to be as prepared as they can.
Hmm.
But I mean, to be honest, like if they were coming, nukes wouldn't do anything.
Exactly. We've been talking about that for a while. There's so many different things about that. But also, I
Yeah,
mean, I remember it was just such an aha moment when the Oppenheimer movie came out. And in the scene when they were doing the testing of the nuclear weapons in Nevada, that they were just
yeah.
behind some wooden boards as the scientists watched a nuclear or hydrogen explosion. And you're like, really, is that how it might work? If it were truly a nuclear weapon and it had radiation poisoning around, you as a scientist would have been out there doing that. So something wasn't going on. So what did they actually test when they were doing those things?
Feels like it's something to do with hydrogen.
Hmm. Doesn't have radiation, does
So, no. Even to like Chernobyl,
it? Hmm.
um, I mean, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful there.
Hmm.
I watched a documentary where they walked around with their Geiger counter and they could see that there was more radiation there, but the grass was green, the animals looked normal, the mushrooms were happy,
You had happy
you know.
mushrooms. That's great.
Yeah. So, what did it really do? Who knows? But it certainly didn't affect it in the way that they said. I
Hmm.
mean, the way that they portrayed it to be is that would have just been black.
Yeah.
Everything would have been black and dead,
Hmm. Very interesting.
you know.
Right, it
So
would have been, it would have been. And also the same thing in Japan after the earthquake. So can you say what happened? Was that actually a test to for humanity to say what they would do if there was a nuclear reaction? Or were they doing that to protect something or some place that they didn't want people to be anymore?
the Fukushima thing,
The
is that what you're talking about?
Chernobyl.
Oh, Chernobyl. I think the factory actually did melt down.
Mhm.
They didn't want people to know that it wouldn't actually kill them. So
Hmm.
that's why they blocked it off.
Hmm. Hmm. And they wanted it to.
So I think, radiation, the worst radiation that we probably experience is like X-ray
Yeah.
radiation.
Yeah.
And it kills the microbes in the body. And as long as you're not continuously with it, because I know with me, with flying, my digestion gets more and more screwy the more planes that I take. And I'll probably just do pat downs from now on. Like I'm not interested in going through that little machine.
Yeah.
But I think that that affects the body. I think, but really, what is radiation? I think it's distorted frequency.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's, frequency that doesn't work for the body.
Hmm.
I don't think the way that they've portrayed it, it's like this radiation's just going to spread out like this creepy orange sludge that's just going to kill everything in its path or something, right? And I'm like, no. And that's what they were heating their houses with. They
Mm.
were heating their houses, the Tartarians, with radium,
Yes.
and they were drinking out of
Yes.
radioactive glassware,
Yeah.
you know? So people say now they do that now and they feel great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see like different things. That's yeah, it's very interesting. So
yeah,
we're entering into a narrative. Three Eye Atlas continues to be interesting, and it sounds like that's really for us an opportunity to have a reason why to believe all of this is happening, and really help. But yeah, I think right now, really all I wanted to say today was that boy, I really feel that the Alliance, the ETs that are helping us, all of the external energies are saying to us, come on, help us finish this up. You guys are there. Let's all go get it. Let's increase this consciousness just a little bit more, and we're right there.
we're like babies who are learning how to walk.
Hmm.
And it's basically like acknowledge who you are. You're a powerful being. Every single person that's watching this is so powerful. They've created every single thing in their life.
Yeah,
And, maybe you're doing it with a partner, maybe you're doing it with your family, but you're creating it. And knowing that, like, let's create something really good and let's let go of all this drama and crappiness that we've been experiencing with the 3D. We don't need it anymore.
exactly. That was then. Let's have a new game. Let's play a new game. Play a reset. That's very exciting. Well, honey, thank you for jumping on. I know you've been a busy woman because you've
Yeah.
been talking a lot about different things, but there's been a lot going on, and I think this is really, really positive to say that. I think right now, I would just say observe that everything that's coming to you is telling you that this is happening. Agree and help create it. I think that's really the good news. It's very good news. One
Mhm.
last word
It
from you,
is.
Miss Honey, before we head out tonight. Uh,
Just remember how loved you are and remember that love yourself and create what you want.
Here you go.
That's all I'll say.
That's a
Okay.
wonderful way to do it. Well, this is Lisa from Question the Narrative, wishing everybody a wonderful day and on that wonderful message, go out and create. Ciao.
Bye, everybody.